Welcome, everybody. No worries if you missed the last class. I have a new surprise for you guys for our Avatar: The Last Airbender Part 2. And on the count of three, I'm going to show you what it is. Ready? One, two, welcome, everybody. Three. Hey! I'm the Avatar. Um, Welcome, guys, to Morning Cartooning, episode number 36. We're doing Avatar Part 2, and hence the Avatar arrow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's get right into it. Okay. You guys were making jokes last week about me, or last episode about me being the Avatar, so I felt like it was only fitting that I show you why I always wear a hat in the class. It's to hide that I am the Avatar. Okay. Our morning game plan today is we're going to do our art review, then we're going to do our quote of the day, then we're going to do some morning mindfulness, then we're going to do calm drawing, then we're going to do karate break, then we're going to do active drawing, then we're going to do our challenge of the day, and then I will send you guys off with, our goodbye. Okay. I hope, Hadassah, that your car is all better now, too. That's no fun when you have to leave your car in the shop. All right. Now, last episode, I keep on saying last episode on Tuesday, we had some fun drawing all the Avatar characters, all the different bending techniques, and learning all the different martial arts. If you missed that episode, I would go back and watch it. You don't have to watch it before this episode, but I would check it out because it was a lot of fun, and we learned about all the different martial arts for each of the styles of bending that they have in the show Avatar: The Last Airbender. So we have Sarah did some awesome drawings of Toph doing our Hongo, I think that's what it's called. Then we did Aang, and I like how she kept it like sketchy where you couldn't even see their faces for a lot of them except for Katara, because it was all about the motion. That was really cool. Also, Zoe did some great drawings. I love that she used different colors, and then she did include the expressions, and they came out really nice too. And she even drew Momo on Aang's back. Oh my goodness, Hadassah, I'm so sorry. Are you sure everybody? I mean, I guess everybody's fine. Jeez, nobody's got any achy necks or anything like that. I hope you're okay. Hopefully, today's exercises will help you with, any kind of like to relieve any stress that came from that. But yeah, thank you guys for submitting. If you want to submit next time, we have, you can send it to noahfontana@gmail.com, or you can send it to my Instagram at teacher.noah. Do teacher.noah, because if you just do teacher Noah, you're going to get somebody else. It was about a month ago. Okay, I'm glad you're okay. Our quote of the day comes from Wilma Rudolph. Wilma was the fastest woman alive at one point, which is really cool. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for the update, Hadassah. Wilma Rudolph said, "I love the feeling of freedom in running, the fresh air, the feeling that the only person I'm competing with is with me." And then she also said, "No matter what accomplishments you make, somebody helps you." So for today's class, I'm trying to grapple with the concept of balance, having a balance of active and passive, and aggressive and calm. And Wilma was, I feel like, a really great balance of that just based off of those two quotes alone. Wilma, she was the fastest woman alive, like I said, but she started out as a very sickly kid who had to wear a brace on her leg when she was younger. And then in 1960 Olympics, she became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in a simple Olympiad, which is pretty crazy. And you can see here her running. She's representing USA, and then there's her with some of her other like teammates or like track practice partners. But yeah, I really like that. She said, "I love the feeling of freedom. The feeling that the only person I'm competing with is me, and no matter what accomplishments you make, somebody is always has always helped you get there," which is a good balance of just like ego, which is important to have. So as we take a moment to breathe, close your eyes and think of the best friends that you've had in your life. Okay, so Wilma knew how we should treat others. She didn't compete with her friends. She was always aware that her accomplishments weren't only her own doing. And too often we get into these backwards mindsets of those two where we compete with our friends and we think that all of our accomplishments are something that we've done on our own, which is kind of like the reverse of what she did. And so as we move forwards to the next portion of class, I challenge us to think of ways that we can show our gratitude for the people who have helped us in our lives. A great way to do this is through art, so let's dedicate our next drawings to the special people in our lives. Thank you. All right. What Aang reference? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I am the only avatar. Okay. So let's get drawing. So let's talk about our calm friends. So here's a picture of Uncle Iroh. This is a poem that was in his. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna like scratch it right off. Uncle Iroh was a very calm, but he knew the balance of calm and when to fight. And I think we can learn a lot from him. So I wanted to take a time to draw a picture of Uncle Iroh, and we could try to draw it in this style too, which I thought would be kind of fun. So let's try to recreate this picture in that style. Okay. Now before we get into this, remember last episode when we did all the martial arts and then we drew the bendings? Well, for today's class, it's not going to be quite martial arts, but it's going to be the essence of the characters. Excuse me. So for Uncle Iroh, I want to teach you guys a couple meditation techniques that I've learned over the years that have helped me kind of regulate and stay calm and breathe and just be a little bit more peaceful in my life. Okay, so if you're sitting down, that'd be great. Put your feet firmly planted on the floor, and we're going to just do a quick little meditation exercise. It's not religious in any way. It's just breathing and paying attention to our bodies. So here we go. So you can close your eyes or just let them lightly flutter. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Alright, so while I keep on talking, I want you guys to keep on breathing and try to keep track. So go count up to 8 and then start all over. So go breathe 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep on breathing like that. So what I want you to do is I want you to open your hands like this, open them, and then leave them resting on your knees or on the arms of the chair that you're sitting in, and take deep breaths in and feel the breath and just note what kind of breathing you're doing right now. So is it fast breathing? Is it slow breathing? Is it tight or is it loose? Are you taking big deep breaths or are you taking shorter quick breaths? Just pay attention to what kind of breathing you are. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just paying attention to what our body's telling us right now. Then I want you to slowly feel like you're doing a whole scan down your body. So I want you to start and feel what your top of your head feels like, then feel your ears, then your chin, then your neck, then your shoulders, all the way down to your arms and your fingertips, and then feel down your chest, down your stomach, and scan, keep on scanning all the way down your hips, your legs, your knees, your calves, and then your feet and your toes. And scan all the way down. That's called a body scan. And it's a way to kind of just center ourselves and pull ourselves back into the present moment. Okay. So as we keep on breathing, we're going to take a couple more quick breaths and then we're going to go on to the drawing. So breathe 5 more breaths in. And then 1 more. And 3 more. All right, there we go. So now we're going to move on to the drawing portion of this class. And let's start with a sketch. So I'm going to move this picture over to the side. There we go. Okay. And let's draw Uncle Iroh. Now right now I'm using the 6B pencil, so that's basically just like if you're at home, you can just use your regular drawing pencil, like any kind of pencil. I'm glad you liked it. And what's cool with the meditation that I've learned uh, is that you can do it anywhere. So there have been times when I feel like you're sitting in traffic or um, you're just kind of like stressed at school or something like that. You can do these meditation exercises wherever you are because it's just breathing. Charlie Mack, I'll have to look him up. Charlie Mackey's. Okay. What made you think of Charlie Mackey's? Oh, Mackesy. Cool. All right, just wrote it down. All right. Now for Iroh, let's quickly finish this sketch. Now Iroh is a great character. I'm not going to spoil too much. Nothing past the first episode or the first season at least. But you can learn pretty quickly that he is very calm and he knows when to fight and he knows when to not fight and just to accept life as it is. There we go. Oh, he draws nature. Very cool. No, not when you're driving the school bus. I mean, actually, when you don't have to close your eyes when you're meditating. It's just about the breath. And so, whatever you are, even if you're taking like a test at school, sometimes we get like very caught up and we get stressed out. And you could just take a second, like while you're holding your pencil, and just breathe in. And you could just do like five breaths. And it takes only a couple seconds. And it can really help calm you down, and then you can actually like feel like you're doing better on the test or something or whatever it is, or you just feel a little bit more happier and centered. I used to have a professor in college, actually. It was a world religions class, and he would start off each class by dinging, like he would ding like this. He'd go, but it would be like this actual specific thing that dings and it rings for a long time, a little bowl, and it would like hold that note for a really long time, and we would start off each class with a 5-minute meditation, and so we just sit there in silence in our class for 5 minutes at the beginning of every class, and it was so nice because that was a Monday evening class that I had, and at that point I had already taken a bunch of classes that day, so I was usually like very stressed and very like frazzled and just like had been running around all day, and just the simple act of doing that really helped me be able to like pay attention in that class and stay focused, and it kind of made the whole class feel very calm and peaceful, and it was really a nice way to start off a class. So it's definitely worth taking the time to like build that in. Okay, so we're not going to draw this boy because we have other characters that we want to include in this, so let's just leave it at that. Okay. So if you see, I have Momo in here too, and I really want to include Momo because we wanted to draw some of the animal characters, and I felt like Momo and Iroh would hang out very nicely together. So let's draw a picture of Momo next to Iroh. Okay. Oh, the Himalayan singing bowl? I think so, yeah. He uses pen and watercolor. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we're gonna use. So if you guys have watercolors, I'm gonna use digital watercolors. But if you have watercolors, you can use the real ones. Okay, so let's make Momo sitting at. Let's make a little table. Iroh's the kind of person that no matter who you are, if you're like a friend or foe, he's a flying lemur, they call him. So it's a new breed that they made up for the show. They make up a lot of animals for the show. But yeah, Uncle Iroh is the kind of character that would just have tea with anybody, and he wouldn't worry about if you were like. He would always kind of assume that you were going to be a friend, and not make any judgments based on like how you looked or what kingdom you were from or whatever. So I could totally see him hanging out with Momo. Procreate's watercolor doesn't look like watercolor. How can you modify it to look like watercolor? Oh, so you can mess around with the technique, the features on the watercolor brush, or I personally think it's totally worth it to buy a set of watercolor brushes for Procreate. There are a lot of good artists that sell them, and they're fairly inexpensive. Like, so this is called the Max Pack, watercolor Max Pack, and I got all these brushes. These are all watercolor brushes, and they even give you like a cool paper texture too, which I use on the background. And it came with these watercolor brushes and these like eraser brushes, where you can do all these like different kinds of like spot patterns and everything. And that whole pack of those three categories right there, I think was like $20. And it's totally worth it because if you look, here I'll show you, the watercolors came out really nice. And the way they blend is really cool too, so you can pick like the worst colors to blend. Yeah. So I would suggest, I mean, you can try to make your own watercolor brushes, which is totally fine. Like I think that's really cool. But for me, that would take me a long time because I'm not an expert at that, and I don't really care to become an expert on making watercolor brushes. And I like supporting other artists. So if an artist made a pack of brushes and they're really good, I like to support artists. And so buying them goes to that artist that made them. So it's not like a huge company that made them. In this instance, the Max Pack colors, that was just one artist. So that would be my suggestion. Yeah, I think the lighting might help. I mean, the coloring might help for Momo. Watercolor brushes, or no, sorry. Let's see. I use, for the most, because I try to keep my process similar to how I draw in real life. So I use, in the sketching, I use a 6B pencil, usually for sketching, because that's got like a nice kind of like darkness, but I could also do like a side sketch like this, all with the same pen. Then for inking, I use the dry ink, and I modified it a little bit so that it doesn't have as much of a flow, but also you can do like a side like that too, which is kind of cool. So I could get like a cool like texture looking for it. So those are the two that I use the most, and then it depends. For coloring, I really love watercolors, and I started off doing watercolors with real watercolors. And so I would stick with these ones. And for the Max watercolors, I like the flow detail because it gives me like the option to do like really little detail, which is cool. So I would say those three I use the most. But I've been trying, because I'm not the best at trying out new brushes. Like usually I'll find one that I really like and I'll just stick to that. But it is fun when you just like try a different brush and try to do different styles. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more. Okay. Let's see. And we can always, of course, draw Appa up in the air, because we should include him too. We'll put him in the distance though. So this is the Flying Bison. My favorite is the Studio Pen. That's a good one too. I used that one actually for the eraser, if you look, Studio Pen. Because that way I know it's going to completely erase a line. Like some of the other brushes, like the sketch brush, it'll sometimes leave like little dots here and there, so I want it to have a clean erase. Okay, let's try Appa. So with the Appa, I'll help you guys out a little bit better. We'll draw a big circle, another big circle for the back arch, and then a smaller circle for his hips. And we'll just kind of like connect those two like this. For the face, do the classic cross. I feel like Appa is very similar to Iroh, actually, which is also why I like him. I think that's why I like Iroh. He's very like kind of like an animal. Like he's like a dog where he'll be very defensive and protective, and can be very aggressive if he needs to be to protect the people that he loves. But for the most part, he's very easygoing and kind, and is friendly to most people. Which is like both of these animals. I mean, Momo's a little bit more skittish, but let's see. Appa's got the arrow to match me, so that's cool. And he's got his horns. He's got 6 legs. He kind of reminds me of the cat bus in Totoro. Have you guys seen Totoro? Oh, nice. Using that calligraphy brush. That brush that I bought. Yeah, I would seriously check out, like, look into packs of brushes that you can buy. Because there are a lot of cool ones. Like I remember, I think I got, let's see, Zakura's. This was like, I think like a $3 or $2 one, but it had like these really cool ones. Like this was like shattered graphite, which is really cool. Watch this. That's like a cool brush. And then this one. Yeah. So that was like a cheaper one, which is cool too, just to try out the different approaches. Okay, here we go. Now let's, I drew it on the same layer again. I keep on doing that. Okay, so we're trying to copy this style. So I'm going to use an ink brush this time. So this one for inking, I'm going to go into my ink bleed. There we go. And this should give us the desired kind of like scratch your ink. Actually, that one works. I wanted to go try for like a more inkier brush. I believe that's the Air Temple. So it's not because of the avatar, it's actually for, Aang is the avatar, but he's from the Air Temple, and they use, they don't use, I'm thinking of the brushes. They have like this blue arrow tattoo on their head that they get. Let's try this brush. That's kind of cool, but not what we want. Maybe a shale brush would be kind of cool. That's a nice brush. Oh, this is cool. This is what we want. Let's try this one. Okay, here we go. This almost looks like a watercolor brush. So this one right now I'm using is the Pandani. Yeah, let's stick with this one. All right. Then there will be an N on each layer. Click that. Oh, how do you make the layer underneath with less opacity like that? Oh, okay. So the layer with in this is on the iPad. If you click the N right here, right there, right next to this check mark of the arrow, click the N. You can change the opacity like this. If you're using like a phone app, you just slide your finger across the screen. I'm gonna try to actually keep like simpler lines to go with the flow of like Uncle Ira, just keeping life simple. He really is just like happy with like some tea, which is I love about him. What's cool about this brush is that it's giving like a texture that like the paper is like ridged, which is cool. Here we go. Let's try Momo now. I use a clipping mask. I'm thinking I might have to, let me add that to my notes, because I'm thinking we'll do like a class specifically devoted to that. I taught a class once that we went over. I taught a class once where we went over all the different like things that you can do, and I mean some of the things that you can do in Procreate. I believe we covered clipping masks. All right, there's a simple drawing from Momo, and here's Appa. This brush is actually pretty nice. All right. Oh, it wasn't a YouTube class. It was a class that I taught right before the COVID happened and we couldn't do it inside. So that's actually why I started doing online classes. And I've been working on setting up some more classes that you guys can like sign up for and do online. Would you guys all be interested in taking like a digital drawing class? Let me know. You did not miss it. I mean, it already happened, yes, in that sense, but that was earlier this year. Okay. And let's do some watercolors really quick. Oh, okay, yeah. No, these classes that I'm talking about, I would be doing like Zoom classes, so where we'd all meet in the Zoom classroom uh, for like 45 minutes, and then we'd do a class like that. So that's what I'm in the works of trying to set up. Um, and let's see, watch. Let's see, what? Um, yeah. So that's that is. It didn't happen yet. Okay. Or like the next wave of it didn't happen yet. This is kind of like too peachy for Momo. There we go. That's better. We're just gonna throw this color in really like loosely. Um, all right, cool. Okay. Let's add Iro's color. I always like to give like a little bit of blush on the cheeks and the nose because that's usually parts of the body that have a little bit more of a blush, and also the ears too a little bit. All right. Got gray hair. Some red Fire Nation clothes. Voila. And we'll just do Appa, and then I think that's it for these guys. All right. How's that look, guys? How do yours look? Nice, very like calming picture. I'm definitely gonna scrape glue off my forehead by the end of this class. But yeah, this is a nice, like relaxing. That's why I like watercolors for this. These characters are very relaxed. And now let's do a quick round of Sensei Says, since I know you guys like that. We didn't do that last episode. Okay. Here we go. All right. So let's start off by stretching. We're going to do Here we go. Hi. Okay. Let's stretch your arms to the right. Good. Like that. Stretch your arms to the left. Good. Stretch your arm. Pull your elbows down. Pull your elbows down here. Good. Okay. Spin your head around. Spin your head around the other way. Good. Okay. There we go. Loosen up. All right. Let's do 3 quick rounds of Sensei Says. Zoe's here. All right. Yeah, don't worry. The next time I do classes, I'm going to do some online classes, and you guys can join. Everybody can join, and it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll just do them on Zoom. So as long as you have Zoom, then you're good to go. Okay, here we go. So we're doing some Sensei Says. Zoe, you're just in time for me to get you out. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Ready? Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says shoot do. Sensei says shoot do. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says down block. Sensei says vertical fist. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Hammer fist. Hammer fist. Did I get you with the last hammer fist? Let me know. All right. That's round 1. Round 2, we're gonna speed it up just a little bit. Okay. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Straight punch. Did I get you? Did you do half the straight punch at least? All right, round 3. Here we go, because I want to have time for our last drawing too. Okay. This one's going to be a long one, just so you know. So you better get, like, if you need to take a sip of water first, do it. Okay, here we go. I think I need to, like, summon the avatar state for this one. Okay, here we go. Hey, Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says vertical fist. Sensei says vertical fist. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Back kick. Here, I get you with the back kick. That I threw a lot at you. So even if I didn't get you out, I'm okay with that today because that was a lot that I threw at you. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna do our active friends drawing. So this is still going to be Avatar, but it's the I got you at Asa. This is going to be the active part. So we just did the calm parts, and now we're gonna do the more upbeat ones, and that's perfect because we just did a lot of activity. So we don't even need to do any other stuff. So our active people are going to be these 3 ladies, and they are May, Tylee, and Azula, which were also requested by some of you guys to draw. Got a onesie fuzz in my mouth. So Tylee up at the top. Let me see. There we go. Cool. This one, Tylee, she's like an acrobat. She can do all these different kinds of flips and like tumbles and rolls and stand on one hand and everything. Can any of you stand on one hand, or can you stand on 2 hands? Let me know in the comments if you guys can stand up like that, do like a handstand, or if you guys could do somersaults or cartwheels. That's her jam. This is May. May she's more like the quiet, like somber type. Like she's like the moody one that like throws like blades and like knives at people from like a distance. So like she definitely keeps her distance. And then there's of course Azula, the crazy one, and she's just like the head strong one, the leader, yeah. So she's usually the one kind of like paving the way and bossing everybody else around. There we go. So let's draw them out, and we're going to try to create some good poses for them that they're interacting with each other. All right, so throw out any suggestions that you guys have. I'm going to do some sketches, and we can kind of brainstorm together a good like group pose for all of them. So remember, so May is going to be the one kind of like more in the background. She's going to be kind of just chilling. Azula is going to be like the more in the forefront, the one leading the way, and Tylee is going to be like the acrobatic one, jumping up around and doing like flips and stuff. So let's see if we can't come up with something cool for them to do. That's like a cohesive picture, because usually when people draw the three of them together, it's like a really cool aesthetic where they kind of just one flows into the other. I feel like Azula is like punching down with it, like electricity coming out like that. You can do a cartwheel. Nice. Oh, I just scratched the blue. All right. I feel like that could be like Azula. Let's see. If you draw. What do you guys got? Any other suggestions? What should Tylee be doing? She's doing flips, and May is going to be throwing like ninja stars. Or not ninja stars. I keep on saying ninja stars. They're just regular knives, I think. I think actually this is going to be May, but I think she should be more like hunched over because she kind of like keeps. Let's see. Ty should be head standing. Okay, good thing. Okay. Like that. Let's see if we can't make. I feel like that's not as aggressive, like or like as a cool. So we do like almost like a split, but like that. You hear slide in the background. I know. He was really calm, and I just fed him, so I thought he was going to be entertained and contained, but I think he started digging a little bit earlier than usual today. Okay. We might have to act this one out. Okay, so if we're doing May, she's gonna be like throwing it. Maybe she's kind of more like got like a guard, kind of like her arms crossed. Well, that's what she's kind of doing in that picture. So I don't want to copy that picture completely. Okay, so what can she be doing if she's like? I think the girl wearing pink should be doing a cartwheel. Okay, so that would be this girl right here. This is Tylee. This is her leg. And this is like her head right there. Okay. Maybe she's doing more like a pose like that, like boom, like that. Yeah, that pose. Okay, hold on. I'll help you out here. How do we spell Ty Lee? Maybe that's her, and that's her. This is Azula. This is her. This is May, and this is who we're gonna draw right now. And we're gonna have her drawing kind of like that. She's like throwing out knives. Also, my sketches are very, very sketchy, so that might be why. Hadassah, do you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? Okay. And this is usually, I mean, the way that we've done it, this really sketchy and everything, that's typical for doing like group sketches too. When you do like sketches with a lot of people in them, it usually kind of looks this messy and sketchy just because there's so many different things. Only the middle one, Azula, this one, is a bender. She's a firebender. The other two are just like kind of like ninjas. Okay. So let's lighten this opacity. Let's try to, whoa. Somebody just dropped something really loud or fell. Okay. Let's do Inca because this brush is a little bit more like aggressive and I like it. I like that. Alright. Let's draw Azula here. Azula is Zuko's brothers, who we drew last week. Oh, okay, let's see. I mean, Azula is Zuko's sister. There we go. And she is not a nice big sister. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah, Azula is pretty much as crazy as bad gets. She is not one to be messed with. Okay. Oh, cool. I could see that a little bit. Okay, guys, I think. Oh, the two ants were really creepy. um, Wait, what movie are you talking about? Are you talking about Avatar? I think Avatar was a show. I mean, they did make it into a movie, but nobody really liked the movie as much. Whoa, there we go. All right, there's Zula. Cool with the Shoestrings is like. Oh, they did Coraline. Oh yeah, Coraline was. I haven't seen Coraline yet. Let's flip this upside down so we can draw May's face. Even when May was like fighting, she was always like very happy. I feel like she was like the airbender of the bunch. Okay. All right. Oh, I mean Ty Lee. Yes, yes, you're right. You're right. Um, Ty Lee was like the airbender of the bunch. You guys don't miss a beat. Thank you. All right, here we go. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip this guy upside down too. All right, we might have to stop soon just because we're running out of time. May was also, I mean, May, why do I keep on calling her May? Ty Lee was also part of the circus too, which is why she's like such an acrobat. Or she became, or she did that because she was such an acrobat, probably. And Ty Lee was really cool, the one that we're drawing right now, because she was really good with the pressure points, which I always found really interesting. And that's like where you can, with little effort, you can kind of like disable somebody just by using like the different nerves on their body. We learned a little bit about that when I was studying martial arts. It was really fun, just because if you're ever fighting something that's bigger than you, you can use the pressure points to like disable that person. Okay, we're gonna stop right there though. You can use the pressure points to disable the person without having to be like stronger or like punching really hard or anything. It's just about knowing exactly right where the nerve is. All right, so we're gonna stop right there. But that's, I mean, now that we've done one character and half a character, you can kind of see how you would finish doing a whole group of characters together where they flow together. You never really want to start directly for the details when you're doing a group shot like that, because you can draw one and then the other two might not fit in. So that's why you always got to keep it really loose and sketchy first. All right. Now, our challenge of the day is to draw a picture of you, you and your friend doing your favorite activity together. So you could do more than one friend, but just at least you and somebody else that you like, and try to draw you guys doing something together where you're not both in the same position, and that would be kind of cool. And then you can also give it to your friend like we were talking about earlier today. Yeah, so that's that. And submit your drawings from this class into noahfontana@gmail.com or at my Instagram right here. There we go, right there. And if you want to help support Morning Cartooning, we have a link down below. Then don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any episodes. I can't tell you how many times my mom has already been like, I missed the episode, I forgot it was today. So if she subscribed, that wouldn't happen. But we're working on that. What should we draw next? Let me know. The next, I think, couple classes, like 2 or 3 classes, we're doing something that you guys have been requesting for a while, and so I'm excited to get into it. And what we're going to do is creating your own characters. So if you have characters that you're already working on, or if you are building new characters, or you just want to create your own characters, this is the class for you. That's going to be on Tuesday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to work through a couple of different steps of creating characters and making them realistic and believable. So for the next couple episodes, we're going to be designing your own characters. Oh, you want to do more Broadway? All right. Yeah, it's totally, we can do more Broadway. And so that's going to be on Tuesday, 10 a.m. like usual. And that's episode 37 already. We've been doing this for a long time now. Only if we could do Annie. Okay, I'm writing it down right now. I got my post-its right here. Okay, Broadway. And I also got another request for another Pokemon class. If you guys want to do another Pokemon class, we can do that too. Let's see. And Sandy. Okay. Oh, we should do let me see, children's books. Cool. Like famous like children's book characters. So keep that in mind. We won't be able to do that for a while because we already have a bunch of other classes that I have lined up for us to do. No more Pokemon. Oh, okay. You're over Pokemon. Well, I think we have enough new ones that it'll be a while anyway. But what if we did like children's book characters, and you guys told me your favorite characters from like your books that you read, and we can design them, especially ones that they like. I saw somebody did. What if the Percy Jackson characters were in the Avatar world, and they made like Percy, I think, was a waterbender, obviously, but they made him like designed in like the Avatar clothes. On drawing horses, yeah, for sure. Horses are so hard. You're just leveling me up, Zoe. Yes, horses are so hard. And the ladies for the Labradoodle. Oh, an episode on cats. Yes, I believe I have cats already on there, I think. What else we got? Okay, I want to sign off now. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, just jot them down, and you can either send them to me on Instagram, or you could just post them in the chat for next class, and then I'll get right on that and add them to the list of things that we can do. Yeah, so thank you guys for participating. After signing out, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Okay, bye.